Hi, welcome to Fats on Film, a podcast where we're going to be exploring fat representation in film, TV, and wider media. I am your host, Hannah Ogilvie. Now, disclaimer right at the top, the use of the word fat. Now, I 100% appreciate what that word means for everyone. I am using that as a neutral describing word and not a derogatory insult. I follow the fat acceptance movement, and within that, there is a belief that we should be taking that word back into our power and stop people using it as an insult. And that's what I'm trying to do here. I am in no way trying to insult or trigger or anything of that ilk. So if I am, I apologize, but I hope you can hear that that's not my intention, and I hope that we're on the same page. So first of all, who the hell am I? Why should you be listening to this podcast? And that's a completely fair question. So my name is Hannah Ogilvie, and I'm currently operating in two different spheres. So there's part of me that has always been obsessed with film and TV, and I know that's so cliche because who the hell isn't? But I really, really have been. And over the past, I think, 2 years, I've been writing mainly about horror for Ghouls magazine, which is a magazine where we look at horror through the feminist and non-binary lens. And I've been writing in that space. I have a few articles about body representation in horror, and mainly fat body representation. I've also spoken on a few podcasts, so I have that going on over here, and I absolutely love and adore that. And then over here, I've created this little following audience where I've been posting my style, my fashion, my plus size fashion and style on Instagram and TikTok. Now, I'm a fat person. I am a size UK 26 to 28. And I've always been really fortunate that I have, for the past few years, really kind of started to find my style. And that's really come into its own over the past year. And at one point, I'll get into why. And I've been expressing that and showing that on the internet because you don't see many bodies like mine looking cool, looking fashionable, looking stylish, looking trendy. And I realised how old that made me sound. You're just trendy anymore, Jesus Christ. But you know what I'm trying to say. And within that, I'm trying to be the representation I would want to see, that I would have loved to have seen when I was younger. So we've been doing that over at Queen Bee Says, and now I'm coming to a point where I kind of want my worlds to collide a little bit. I mean, by a little bit, I mean by a lot bit, because fat representation in media is scarce, and when we do get it, it's not great. And I know you're probably thinking, Hannah, aren't you being too sensitive? Maybe at least it's good to have some representation than zero. And is it? I don't know, team. I think some of the representation we get is positive, and I would 100% want to explore that in this podcast. But a good chunk of it is negative. And stereotypes, unfortunately, don't stay within the confines of the media that they're presented in. They do trickle into real life, onto real people, and how people view that stereotype or that person in the real world. Now, we've become so evolved and wise and just generally better at evaluating how we've portrayed other stereotypes, be it from race, religion, gender, sexual identity, etc. But I do think we still have this blind spot when it comes to bodies, and for me, fat bodies. And that's what we're going to talk about on this podcast, Fats on Film. So each week I'm going to take a film or a TV show and we're going to do a bit of a deep dive into how that medium portrays fat people and how they are treated. And I guess also talk just kind of openly and widely why that's an issue or why that's positive. And to me, that this is the kind of stuff I want to hear. So I'm putting it out there. So hopefully if anyone else who feels the way I feel could also listen to it, that would be just amazing. and I'm hoping to get guests. And the one thing I ask of you is obviously to do the usual subscribe, follow, etc., etc., etc. I also want you to let me know of what you want to see, because I love like film and TV, but I'm only one person. I cannot consume it all. So if you have any like glaringly obvious, oh, we need to talk about that, you need to let me know so I can add it to the list. Now, a real big blind spot for me is the medical shows, like the medical dramas, like the Grey's Anatomies and the... what other medical shows are this is my point. Oh, House. Like that's one I never saw. So if there's... and I bet if medical shows are anything like real life, the medical fat phobia in those shows will be... it'll be good. It'll be top tier. Or maybe they're self-aware enough to realise it is an issue and portray it and try and resolve it in the shows. Who knows? I'd love to be surprised. So yeah, that's the idea. That's my pitch. That's my stall that I am putting out to all you lovely folks who are currently listening. And I hope you're ready to expand your critical eye and also your empathy. I think that's a real big thing with this, is just to empathize and learn, I guess, ultimately. And I'm going to learn too, because I'm going to be watching things I probably haven't seen before and I don't have an opinion on. And I'm an Aquarius, I have an opinion on everything, so I need to see things so I can have an opinion on it. If that all sounds great and you want to follow along, you can find the show on Instagram and Twitter at Fats on Film. And you can also find me, Hannah Ogilvie, hello, at Queen Bee Says on Instagram, Twitter, and also TikTok. And so I hope you're excited, I'm excited, and I'll see you at the next episode.